Hello and welcome to another episode of our show today, a show where we explore the mind shaping the future. I am your host, Odim Kingsley, and today we are diving into the fascinating world of robotics. Our guest today is an innovative robotic engineer who is not just building machines, but solving real-world problems using technology. We are about to get an inside look at what drives the passion and creativity in robotics. So let's welcome our guest into the show.
My name is Samuel Ubianga. I'm a robotics engineer and also a back-end engineer. In field of robotics, generally I've always tried to bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and what practical um, knowledge of robotics. And this has led me even to starting my company, which is RoboCreate. And basically what I do, we develop robotic solution to help people be able to both learn and build advanced robotic system. And because I see a time or a period, where we as in Nigeria or even in Africa, we be able to handle a lot of these advanced robotics stops, and just the way we see out there. So I'm committed to developing solutions and products to aid that advancement in robotics here and in Nigeria. I think it started when I was small, since from a very tender age. There's this particular show. It's called is it Japan Today? I think it's Japan Today, yes. Where they show that technologies that are going on, things that people are doing, in I think in Japan, one of those Asian countries, I can't remember very clearly. So those things actually sparked my interest then as a young boy. So I find myself going out, taking these slippers and with them popsicle straws, to build robots. I developed them just using normal slippers, sometimes cartons and things like that. And in my desire is always that these things should be able to move, just the way I see them on TV, but they don't actually move. I sometimes I have to control them like puppets and things like that. But I think the real turnaround started my sophomore year in school. That is my second year, where I met a friend. I think his name is Taufik. So I saw some of the things he did on his tab. I was like, robotics, car, and things like that. I was like, you did all this? He said, yes. I asked him, you are sure you did it with your hands? He said, yes, you did it with your hands. I kept asking those questions. He said, yes. Wow. And I asked him to put me through, going into the going into robotics. Then I started taking little courses starting from electronics. Sometimes I give him some feedback. I just started until I think at that 400 level, I had grown so much that I actually joined a particular competition for my school. That is a coded competition. My school, which I represent the school um, with other colleagues, other students, and we actually won the competition. So all this has sparked interest before and during my final year as I finished school. I also now got opportunity to work as a research assistant for a lecturer of mine, working on advanced algorithm for mobile navigation. So all these things generally actually increase my interest, and I noticed that we generally have a problem. The though we have especially in the area of things like control, robotics navigation, while there are a lot of people are doing things which is good. You understand that people are doing things. You go online, people are building one robot or the other, moving, but there's no depth of control. We can't really implement advanced algorithms. It opens my eyes to a lot of things. Why you don't see the development that we see in robotics. So all these different experiences actually sparked my interest in going deep into robotics. more of systematic, practical oriented approach. So the problem I'm trying to solve presently, it has to do more with, it's related to current state of robotics education. It's more tailored towards the educational system. And because I noticed that despite the fact we have schools, we have universities, and even people, a lot of people that are robotics engineer trying to doing one or two things, you understand now? One of the major problem we have here is that we don't really understand the core concepts, core things involved in building robots or building solutions, building robots that can solve problem. You understand now? And this got to my attention for my final year project where we worked on a autonomous lawnmower. Now I and my colleague we had worked on the algorithm, so to say, to at least implement on that lawnmower. It was made to work autonomously. But we noticed that we didn't really, there's a lot of things we don't understand. For example, how the control, we're trying to let this robot move in this particular manner. It can't move, it's not moving the best way it could. And there was no really way we could even get help from people close by. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't understand a lot of things. So I noticed that the problem lies in our understanding of the core concepts, of robotics. And without, it's like for control, from areas like control, then you can talk about advanced things like navigation and manipulation. No, but you see, it's like those areas of control, sensor fusion, a lot we don't understand those things. And already this way generally impedes our development in building, robots that can actually solve problems even in our societies. Because you can't just deploy a robot without knowing how the robot will behave. So I'm committed, what I'm working on, or my robot is working on, is to help people understand all these core concepts in developing robots. Yeah, that is really what I'm after. Understanding this core advanced concept in developing robots that will be able to work and solve problems in the society. What has actually influenced me, or who and what has actually influenced me, my this journey? I'll say it's actually, I'll start with my friends, my friends and my colleagues, so to say, uh, that is in the robotics field, and also the people I've met over time. For example, I start with one of the person I will never forget in my life. That's his name is Olani Taufik. Actually, that was the person I said I met for my second year. I've actually been close for my second year during my undergraduate study. And I think it's one of the core influence for me in area of robotics. Then I'll mention my lecturer as engineer Martins. You know, I stepping into that scenario of working with him as a research assistant also like influenced my drive towards the direction I'm also going today. And even a lot of people I met over time from likes of CQ, also known as Lekon. I can mention a lot of them. Davis, George, Cora for it's just the people I met that actually that really influenced me, and also the problems and the struggles of what I've seen that people go through here in order to learn robotics. So these are the things that actually drive me and influence my journey. I've been working on some projects. Or let's say I started working on some projects that was this, it all started over some years ago, actually. So, and actually to understand the project is you need to understand what influenced the law of this project. Like I said, since I left school, I noticed that the learning, understanding a lot of all these robotics concepts, especially for us in Nigeria, it's not something easy, or should I say that we don't I noticed that people don't really understand a lot of all this concept from control to advanced control like navigation, maybe slam manipulation, a lot of all these things. So and I started working on all these projects. So I'm going to talk about them one by one. I think I'll talk about this the last. I'll start with this. This is a motor controller. I call it the Easy PID motor controller. Actually, what the drive towards creating this was because I noticed that we had problem developing robot that has very good control system. Control system is one of our major problem in robotics here in Nigeria. Our robots doesn't have good control. They can't do proper state estimation and things like that. So I decided to develop this in order to solve that problem. Basically, what does it do? It basically converts your DC motor, your any DC motor, like those normal gear DC motor, to what? To servo motors, to precise speed control servo motors. So basically, once you connect your DC motor to it with very minimal setup, you've converted them to servo motors. You can command them with actual angular velocity, and they respond in that particular manner and getting necessary feedback, it which is really needed for what? For building what? Robots that has what? Good and precise control. And the other thing I also worked on, or I've been working on, is an IMU system. I call it also the Easy IMU. And if you notice what I keep using easy, the fact that they're actually easy to use. Basically, because what another thing I noticed is that when we build our robots, we like I said, for control, part of the control is also being able to know how your robot is oriented, and estimating the state and pose of the robot. You understand? And these are key components. And usually our problem is that we don't have a way of of getting a precise orientation. We depend on a lot of libraries, but sometimes we don't even understand how to read orientate it, structure it, and even integrate a lot of all these different sensors and actuators together, and performing things like sensor fusion to get better, maybe state estimation, better control from the robot. So that's really the reason why I developed these two products, because normally you set up your base control for your robots, um, perform things like sensor fusion very easily, and can be integrated with softwares framework like the robot operating system, that is the ROS2. So, and all these things are it's actually very, very useful for the robotics community, and it's not just a normal body. Finally, I began to work on this robot. I call it the mobile bot. The mobile bot. And actually, the base control was built on these two modules, on this Easy PID motor controller and the Easy IMU. And basically, what this mobile bot do is just a differential drive robot that will help people accelerate their learning of robotic concepts, such as uh, control systems, sensor fusion, navigation, SLAM. It will help people here in Nigeria, which is a problem that we generally have. So and that's the whole point. You can notice that is equipped with lidars and a lot and sensors and actuators to make all these things possible. And I believe you'll be able to see a demo of this. And the funny thing that it's actually it appeared in the news of the week on the robot operating system forum, in the news of the week. So I think it's something that is getting recognized. I can also check it out maybe on LinkedIn or on social media. The GitHub repo, everything is available both for simulation and the hardware to help people get started with learning advanced robotic system, advanced robotic concepts, accelerating their development and learning the area of robotics. So that's lack of, like call it mentorship and resources. This is been one of the challenges I've actually faced in getting mentors. Why when I'm working on certain projects, I just need someone that could really put me through. I know of some of what these are advanced, some of the things that we do here are not really advanced. They are just consider them of basic level. So getting those necessary resource and sometimes mentorship to to more like reduce that the process, the development process, the research process, and a lot of all these things. Sometimes it's it's really hard. And usually what I do is, like I said, um, I research, as I research because I actually love researching. But although it takes time, you understand, I research, and when I'm able to puzzle some of what I fix all these puzzles together from all the different research I make, you understand, get I don't clear. Although it usually takes, and that's why sometimes development here can take time. And also, you know, lack of opportunities, because one of the one of the it's a big problem, especially for here in Nigeria. I would say maybe even in Africa. Yes, lack of opportunities. You won't come out from school and say you want to be a robotics engineer. Who do you want to go and work for? Where do you want to work for? And maybe as you come out with other responsibilities on you, so those opportunities are not there. So sometimes it takes God's desire, personal willingness and desire to navigate something like that. And you know why lack of those opportunities for an extension to the lack of the opportunities. Okay, I want to maybe go out there and try to maybe get a work in robotics, so to say. Remote work out there, you require that maybe you understand quite some advanced, you know, concepts, you have advanced knowledge of a lot of all these robotic systems, which we don't have. So that time taken to learn all these things, balancing it with other normal time. So those opportunities are not really abounding, really abounding. Uh, so much. Yeah. So these are some of the challenges. And one of the things I'm trying to do is, working on things like this. I hope that we will be able to create opportunities for people who want to both learn robotics, work as robotics engineer, and also so that they will to push themselves out there to be able to get where they want to get to in the area of robotics. And that challenge I faced, it has to do with more of getting components, readily available components. Try to maybe for you to use in love to develop maybe those advanced systems, because I'm more concerned about developing more of things that are more advanced, not just regular robotics. So getting those components, for example, you want to get a LiDAR, you want to get an IMU, you want to get a motor controller, you want to get things like this. They are costly. I mean, very costly. They are costly. And this is one of the things that led me to developing all this the the easy PID motor controller and the easy IMA, because to reduce the cost and make it readily available. Because once you even buy some of all these components, you realize that it takes time to be able to the learning curve to start get used to them or start using them, integrating it into your project. It takes a lot of time. A lot of time. You have to understand a lot of critical things, how to set up parameters, do one or two things. So these are some of the problems that I face. And one of the problems I also face is, that's the community. That this was initial. I have to say that getting the community of people that are finding people out there. Are there people going through what you are going through? It's like you are just stuck. You are more like you are stuck. I think recently when I think I been to realize that there are communities in Nigeria. I think one is the Ross community. There are other ones by know of the robotic operation system community. And I've met people. These are people that have now helped me out. In knowing that say we are not alone in this. There are people also into this. There are people also into this. And that's actually help help my journey, the development process. Yeah. Uh, I'll say yeah. Yes, especially recently. You know, I think it has actually helped speed up a lot of uh, my work, especially the development process of some of my projects recently. Yeah, it was well, one of the clear examples is using these softwares or this AI softwares like maybe ChatGPT. Sometimes there are just things I need to get what I would have spent hours and time maybe researching, maybe checking videos, different videos, then trying to wrap everything around, reading articles, reading a lot of things, then trying to restructure them as though I'm solving a puzzle before applying to problem. I know right now it's much easy because I can easily just tell I'm trying to solve this problem. How do you think I should go about it? And it gives me a suggestion. I read through it and I say this thing might not go. This is not what I'm looking for. No, I then I direct it. Okay, this is this is what I want to do. Something like that. Uh, just it generally has helped and improved or increased a lot of the development time, of the time I spent developing a lot of my project as well as the softwares that I work on. As research for Samuel Obiagba. You can check me out on LinkedIn, also on YouTube. I I run a company called Robocreate, so you can check it out on YouTube. You can see some of the demos of some of the things I work on, and also I have a website currently. It's Robocreate. Once you can check, and also on my GitHub, you can check it on GitHub. Both name of my GitHub is Sam Things, and that of my company is Robocreate. So you check this, you will see a lot of my project and the demos. The advice I'll give a someone here to start robotics now, I think is good to let the person first understand that if he's going to do it here in Nigeria, he should understand that first and foremost, there's not that much opportunities. He needs to understand that. So most likely if he's going to go into robotics, maybe if I'm speaking now, if the person is in Nigeria and wants to pursue robotics, most likely he might have to maybe do something else with robotics. Then once he's able to learn a lot and know that much, then he can then maybe start a company or maybe find a place to work, maybe maybe outside there. Another advice I'll give the individual or that person is to start something. Just start building something. Check something online. Start engaging your curiosity and try to, if you are looking at something, maybe you want to explore advanced algorithms, see what people are doing out there. You want to research more. Try and start checking out to reach out maybe for schools, get out there, join communities to know what's going on, because that's really what will help. And if you can get a mentor on time. Get a mentor on time if you can get one. You understand that? So these are the advice I would generally give. And also, this is very important in the learning process. I would advise the person not to skip the necessary basics, things that it does to know in the process of learning, because these are the things that will define you and make you different from people out there. Yeah. To support me, I'll like that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, engage with my content on my social media, and for my LinkedIn, share it with friends, and so that share it with friends or people that need this content, so that people can know that something is going on here in Nigeria. I believe robotics will be revolutionized in Nigeria. So I would like that people engage with my content. And very soon I'll be launching all my products and also my company, and I would like that people also would engage with this. I will enjoy that. For example, universities should should try and get some about this product, because I believe it will solve a lot of problem in the area of learning robotics and advanced concept. So these are ways that people can, um, you know, uh, support me, and I'm also open to collaboration, you know, research, uh, research work, and if and maybe some opportunities could be job opportunities. Yes, I'm open to it. You can support me by sharing maybe my profiles to people if you know them, things like that. Yeah.
And that is a wrap for today. A huge thank you to our guests for sharing such a valuable insight into the world of robotics. If you found this conversation interesting or inspiring, then subscribe to this channel, leave a review, share this episode to a friend who might find this insightful and valuable. Stay connected on all our social media platforms for the next upcoming guest and the next episode of our show.